Once you've played with the core expansion, add the extreme weather elements. At the beginning of the game, give each player one heavy winds card and one lookout card to place face up next to their bucket. The side with the flip icon should be showing. Then choose which event cards you would like to add to your deck. We recommend you choose no more than 2 event cards. These should be shuffled into the deck after you deal the cards to each player and before you cut the firestorm into the deck. When the dry storm is drawn, lightning strikes the board. To include this card, add 4 lightning tokens to the board during setup in these spaces around the Eternal Flame. If you ever place fire gems or firebreak tokens on the same space as a lightning token, you must then move the lightning token to a vacant space that's orthogonally adjacent to the pattern you just placed. This lightning token can be moved to any of the spaces around the flare-up that was just added. In this way, you can move lightning tokens towards your opponents and away from yourself. If a lightning token is ever displaced and there's no empty space available to place it, it must be removed from the board. Lightning tokens may not enter a fire tower or the Eternal Flame. When Dry Storm is drawn, play it immediately. Roll the wind die 4 times. For each roll, place a gem off each lightning token in that direction. For example, if the roll showed east, place a gem here. If there is a gem in that space, continue east until there is a vacant space and place a gem there. If you run into a firebreak token or the edge of the board before a vacant space, do not place a fire gem. If you run into a firehawk before a vacant space, activate the firehawk who will remove the gem. Leave the lightning tokens as lightning may strike again. A kettle is a large group of hawks. When Kettle Flight is drawn, play it immediately. All players who have 2 or more firehawks must activate exactly 2 of their hawks. Move 2 fire gems from your quadrant of the board to any vacant spaces on the board that are orthogonally adjacent to pre-existing fire gems. Then remove 2 firehawks from your quadrant. Do this in order, starting with the player who drew the card. All players with less than 2 firehawks may add 2 firehawks to their quadrant. Everyone may also rearrange their firehawks. When mobilization is drawn, play it immediately. Draw 1 more card than the number of players and play one of them. Pass the remaining cards to your left. The player to your left will play a card and pass the remaining cards to their left. Continue playing and passing until each player has played a card and discard the final card. In a 2-player game, draw 5 cards and then play and pass until each player has played 2. Specialty cards are added abilities that each player has access to. You can use the front side of the card, Heavy Winds and Lookout, once during the game. Once used, flip the card over to reveal a new unlocked ability. Unlocked abilities may be used once per turn for the rest of the game. For your turn, play as many wind cards from your hand as you wish and place 1 gem in each direction shown. For example, you could play 3 south wind cards, 1 southwest card, and 1 east card. Then place these gems in any order. You could place 1 to the southwest, 3 to the south, and 1 to the east. Gems placed during heavy winds can build off each other, but they do not have to be placed together. For example, you could play those same gems here, 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 and here. Then discard all the wind cards you used, draw back up to your hand size, flip the heavy winds card, and end your turn. Now, anytime you play a wind card, you may play 1 additional wind card and place a fire gem in the direction shown on the top of the card, and then draw back up to your hand size. For your turn, draw 3 cards from the top of your deck and play 1 of them. Discard the other 2 and then flip Lookout. Once Lookout is flipped, you can utilize Patrol on your turn. Discard 1 card from your hand without taking its action, draw 2 cards and play 1 of them. Keep the other card and end your turn. That's Fire Tower, the Rising Flames expansion. Be sure to check out the other modes of play in the rulebook, like 2v2 or solo mode. Thanks so much for listening.